What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we have a major warning that we need to get to, that now the Social Security Administration employees are telling us that you may not receive your benefits. Just look at this. It says, SSA employees warn staffing and funding crisis will lead to people not receiving benefits. That is crazy and that is insane. And I want to get to this report today because it is so important to make sure that you, if you are on a fixed income and you are collecting Social Security benefits, that you do receive your benefits and they do come on time. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Also, feel free to share this video with friends and family over on Facebook, and make sure you click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. But let's get right down to it. Why are Social Security Administration employees warning about a potential crisis where you may not receive your benefits? Well, let's dive right into it. Again, this article says SSA employees warn staffing and funding crisis will lead to people not receiving benefits. Now, I want to go and read you this right here. It says, due to over a decade of congressional underfunding, we are now an agency in crisis. I think we can all agree the Social Security Administration has been pretty much being pillaged for decades. Well, guess what? Lawmakers are now trying to figure out how can they bring in more revenue, decrease costs so that the Social Security Administration does not struggle and they do not become insolvent within the next 10 years. That's the problem when it comes to the Social Security Trust Fund. But, and here's the big thing, what do lawmakers do? Well, here's something I can tell you right now. According to multiple reports, we are now hearing that the Social Security Administration's employees now feel like they're overworked, they're underpaid, and they're undertrained. They feel like they are not getting what they need to succeed in their job. Let me read you this as well. It says, Social Security staffing crisis is getting dire, the union says. It says agency management is doing the bare minimum to improve workplace conditions amid a daunting workload and morale that is among the worst in the federal government, according to union officials. Here's the problem. And again, I bring this up because what happens if we see staffing shortages in addition to a funding crisis? Well, just like they're saying, you will not receive your benefits. Okay? This is a major problem. Well, let's look at this. It says with falling budgets and staffing levels to meet public demand, the workers that remain are, in a word, demoralized, left with feeling overworked, underpaid, and undervalued. And an AFGE member poll shows over 50% of respondents are still considering leaving the agency within the next year. The reason? Employees are citing toxic levels of work-related stress as they struggle to control impossible workloads. Now, I didn't know that the Social Security Administration was going through a staffing crisis. And I didn't know this until somebody pointed this out about 2 weeks ago. And in this email that I received, this person simply told me that they quit their job, that they were working for the Social Security Administration for about 7 years. They quit their job simply because things have changed. The Social Security Administration doesn't care about their employees. They just don't. They care about you get the work done as quickly as possible. You know, if somebody is supposed to get benefits, you gotta quickly do it. But guess what? They don't have enough people versus the amount of people that are expecting benefits. This is one of the reasons why that the average new beneficiary takes about 3 months. Okay? About 3 months to collect benefits. So if you are new and you do not get benefits yet, guess what? You may be put on hold when you call. You may be stuck in limbo if you ever try to contact them, simply because, guess what? It takes a few months. And it's because they do not have enough workers versus the workload that's coming in. Again, it's a major problem. Now, what do? Where do we go from here? Well, this is where lawmakers step in. This is where President Biden, he lets the Congress know what his demands are, what he wants. And then Congress will look at his demands and say, okay, that's either good, let's go for it, or no, that's not doable. And at this time, it's the latter. What we know is that Congress is saying that President Biden's plan is not doable. We cannot increase taxes on just the wealthy. We cannot only increase, and again, when I say just the wealthy, I'm not talking about people that are making hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars per year. According to President Biden, the wealthy are anybody that makes over $400,000 per year. But if you make between $160,200 and $400,000 per year, you're technically not considered wealthy. It's a very interesting dynamic right now. So, what's the next step? Well, according to multiple reports out just this week, they are now saying that Congress has to pass the appropriations bills for fiscal year 2024. These are the 12 bills that make up the federal budget. They have to do this by the end of September. So this has to be passed by September 30th. Here's the problem. Congress, technically President Biden and Speaker Kevin McCarthy, they already agreed to a deal that was going to cap spending at 1% in addition to what we have. Here's the problem. The Social Security Administration needs additional funding. Well, we also hear the IRS needs additional funding, right? The Department of Education needs additional funding. Everybody needs more funding. But 1% is not enough. So, where are we going to see the lawmakers pull revenue from, pull some of the money from the budget and push it towards something else? For example, the Social Security Administration. Well, I don't know if they do. We might see another year where Social Security Administration is underfunded. The reason I bring this up is because, again, a couple weeks ago, a person let me know, yes, they left their job. Well, just last week on, I believe, Thursday evening, I get a message. And so this person that I do know has worked for the Social Security Administration for some time, and he left. He simply quit. He couldn't do it. It was enough. He had enough because he requested a day off. Okay? He needed a day off. Guess what? Wasn't going to get it. They said no. He said, no, I know you were previously approved for this day off. Yes, you may have a vacation plan, whatever, but we need you here. Right? We need you here. And he said, all right, quit. That's enough. Right? He was tired of it. Well, guess what? That's what this article is pretty much saying. That according to AFG member poll, shows over 50% of respondents are still considering leaving the agency within the next year. Guess what? If the Social Security Administration is having a funding crisis and they can't provide more funding, or Congress cannot provide more funding to the SSA, guess what? There's an additional staffing shortage. It's going to get worse. And if the workers that are currently working, okay, and this person I know is not going to be one of them. He's not going back. But if the people that are currently working are feeling pretty much undervalued, they're not being paid enough, they're overworked, they're going to stop working. They're going to quit and find something else. And guess what? There's a lot of jobs still out there. There's still a lot of jobs out there. So, just wanted to fill you in on this because the problem that we are facing right now is workers. And again, this is troubling, but workers are now starting to feel like they have more power because our economy is struggling. So if workers feel that they have a little bit more power, they're going to fight for additional wages, better benefits. And if this happens and we see the employee and the employer start butting heads, guess what? The employer may decide, you know what? We don't need you. you're fired. Or the employee can say, you know what, I don't need this, I quit. And people are just going to stop working. So again, it's a major problem, but this is kind of the situation that we've put ourselves in. So we will see what happens moving forward, but what I can tell you is as soon as we get more information, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. All you got to do is two things. First off, hit the like button on this video, and also click that subscribe button and tick that notification bell so you never miss an update. That is what we know at this time. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I will see you guys on the next one.